And we continue our breaking news coverage. An Alabama inmate whose planned execution drew an international outcry has been put to death by nitrogen hypoxia. News 19's Lauren Layton is in Atmore and was one of the 5 media witnesses to the execution of Colbert County convict Eugene Kenneth Smith.
And Lauren joins us live now from Atmore near the Holman Correctional Facility where the execution took place. Now, Lauren, it's been about an hour and 40 minutes that Smith was pronounced dead. With everything surrounding the questions about nitrogen hypoxia, I understand you're not an expert on nitrogen hypoxia, but can you give us a sense of if this went according to the plan that state officials put in place?
Well, Greg, it's kind of hard to say if it went to plan because we've seen state officials say he could lose consciousness within seconds and death within minutes. Now, from curtain open to curtain close, it was about 22 minutes, but did he lose consciousness within seconds? No, he didn't. He was seen writhing around for a few minutes. He had heavy breathing for several minutes. The curtains opened at 7:53. They closed at 8:15. We were then escorted out. The physicians had to come in and check, so his time of death pronounced by the doctors was 8:25. So I don't know if that's necessarily to plan. Commissioner John Hamm did say he expected the reaction from Smith that he got. He said he suspected Smith was maybe holding his breath in the beginning when the nitrogen gas was being pumped through the mask, but it's hard to say if it was necessarily exactly to plan.
Now, Lauren, the state obviously had shared how this was supposed to go, but redacted a lot of it. What was one of the more surprising things to you about how this process took place?
I think what was surprising was how the mask looked. I didn't expect it to look the way it did. I Googled the mask and it looks a lot like a firefighter's mask. It covered the inmate's entire face. It was outlined in blue, but the front was glass, so we could see his eyes almost to the end of his nose, and there was a nozzle attached to it, which I can assume is where they pumped the gas through. But other than that, it was pretty much everything from what I'd studied in the protocol. It went to plan, give or take the timing of it all.
And also, we ran sound bites earlier from the Sons, which you interviewed earlier in the week. Can you give us more of a sense of their reaction? Because one of them said Smith had been incarcerated almost twice as long as I knew my mom. Think about that for a minute. Can you give us more of a sense of what the family, what they said?
Yeah, it's heavy to hear those kinds of words. Mike Sennett, one brother who was 23 at the time of his mother's death, he did the talking. His brother Chuck stood behind him. And one thing that stood out, he said nothing that was done tonight would bring his mother back. But he said justice was served for Elizabeth Dorleen Sennett, which I think that gave the family the closure they were hoping for.
And now, obviously, because this was a first of its kind execution method, there has been a flurry of media from all over the world that's been down there. And there have been a slew of news conferences that have continued to happen since the conclusion of the execution process. Who else have you heard from this evening?
So after that ended, we went to another press conference for death penalty action. It was outside the hotel that I'm standing outside of right now. And Reverend Jeff Hood was the main speaker there. He was a spiritual advisor for Kenneth Smith since, I believe, November. He's been sort of helping him get ready for the process that he underwent today. And Hood is a proponent against the death penalty. He doesn't like the death penalty, so I think it's important to say that off the top. But he recounted what he experienced in there as well. And he also had a couple other people with him. He had someone who was on death row with Kenneth Smith at the time with him, and they sort of talked about the events of the night, and they don't think it went how the state hoped it would.
All right, News 19's Lauren Layton live from Atmore this evening. Thank you so much. We'll be right back.